Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I share my experiences with manifesting and practical tips for you to be able to apply the knowledge into your real life situations. And today I wanted to share with you my take on the idea that imagination is reality, because I happened to come across this question on the Neville Reddit. So the question goes, how do you live inside in your imagination? Does that mean that during the day you close your eyes and just imagine different scenarios of the life that you desire? And I think this is one of the most common questions, especially for people who are more on the beginner side. When you first come across the idea that imagination is reality, imagination is all there is, and imagination is where you go to have what you want. Naturally, you wonder, okay, so does that mean that in order to manifest something, all you have to do is to close your eyes, retreat into your imagination cave, and just withdraw from the life that surrounds you? And to that, I want to say that no, the whole point of manifesting is for us to be able to live our lives more fully, for us to be able to participate in all our lives have to offer us. It is the opposite of having to retreat completely into your imagination and just not engage with your circumstances. That would really defeat the purpose. Now, I wanted to offer you another way to look at imagination and to understand what it really is, and it's not what you think. I think that a lot of times people repeat things like imagination is reality, or that consciousness is the only reality, almost as some kind of motivational quote, without really going into what it looks like on a practical level and what it actually means. For me, imagination is reality is one of the concepts in manifesting that you want to take as facts. And by that I mean it's not just a feel-good kind of idea. It's not just a feel-good motivational quote. It's actually how things work. This is how life works. This is how reality works. Imagination is reality. It's a fact. And to explain this, I want to start with the idea that circumstances are meaningless. Circumstances are inherently neutral. Circumstances do not get to tell you what you get to experience. It does not decide what your experiences are going to be for you. Because think about it, circumstances they just exist. They are just there. They're not doing anything. We interact with circumstances with the stories that we tell ourselves. We sort of animate circumstances with our own stories and our perspectives. And when I say that we interact with our circumstances with the stories that we tell ourselves, one thing that you have to understand is that our stories are our imagination. That's what imagination is. So basically, we're only ever interacting with our own imaginations. If you're more into Neville's teachings and God, I would put it this way. We're God experiencing itself. And this takes me back to one of the fundamentals in manifesting, which is remembering who we really are. We're God, we're consciousness, we're all there is. Now we get to pick and choose the stories that we're going to tell ourselves and the ways in which we animate the circumstances which are inherently neutral. We get to pick and choose how we interact with these circumstances, and we get to pick and choose the kind of experiences that we get to have through the circumstances. So then, coming back to our topic for the day, on imagination is reality. Long story short, imagination is reality because imagination is all that we will ever get to experience. I think that a lot of times we get stressed out because we have the wrong idea of just how manifesting works. We think that we have to close our eyes or shut down our senses and go, quote unquote, go within to imagine. And then we open our eyes, we have to deal with, we have to endure, we have to tolerate, put up with these unfavorable set of circumstances for however long it takes for our imagination and the effect of it to kick in and change things for us. That is not the case. We are actually not going in and out of imagination. We're not going from imagination into this concrete 3D reality and then going back to imagination. It doesn't work like that. We do not go back and forth. We're only ever experiencing life within imagination. And when you truly let this sink in, when you truly understand what I'm talking about, you will realize that there is actually no current reality to ignore. There is no 3D for you to ignore because all there is a story and another story and another story, and we are just here trying to pick and choose. And that is how I personally ignore current reality. I do not really ignore anything because it's there. You cannot ignore it. But I ignore it by telling myself that this is just a story. It's just a story. And that there's always another story to tell. There's always a better perspective, even if I might not see it. And sometimes you don't necessarily, you cannot immediately find a better story or a better perspective on the same set of circumstances. And you cannot really think your way out of it in those cases. But what you can do is to be open to receiving this perspective. You can manifest everything. You can manifest your way to your end. You can manifest a better perspective. You can manifest a better story. And most importantly, you can ask for help. You're not alone. You're not alone in this. And when I say that you can ask for help, I do not mean that you could ask for help from coaches, from YouTubers, nothing like that. Not even from me, not even from Neville. I'm talking about the fact that you are God. You're consciousness. You're everything. You're all of those perspectives. You're all the answers that you're seeking. It is all within yourself. All you want to do is to just quiet your mind down and to be open to receiving it. All right, that was all I had to say for today. And if you've made it this far, I just wanted to say thank you. If you have further questions, please feel free to comment down below. If you liked what you just learned. Please consider subscribing or just liking this video. If you want to know more about me, please find me on Instagram at unboundedyou. And happy manifesting.